What's up, everybody? Welcome to the first cast of the second week of playoffs. So this is going to be the semi-finals between TekAjpu Furious and GOSU. TekAjpu Furious, of course, they're the winners of the regular season. They ended up in the #1 spot. And GOSU making it to the semi-finals by beating United Emu Directorate. So let's see what this is going to be like. This is Tier 3. And I have to say that TekAjpu has a really seriously strong Tier 3 lineup. I mean, their entire lineup looks really strong, but their Tier 3 one especially, I'd say. So let's get into these games. Let me see if I can load up the first one here. Let me remind everyone that the map pool for week 2 was Polypoid, Neosylphid, and then ending with Butter. So a 4-player map, a 3-player map, and then a 2-player map to finish it off. Yeah, all of these maps are totally different in terms of what kind of strategies people tend to do on them. I think maybe Neosylphid is maybe one of the more controversial maps of this season. Possibly. Polypoid, of course, the most standard macro map that you can have, and yeah, the 2-player maps have always given us very interesting games, I think, and also very quick games. So we'll see if we get to that. But for now, let me just load up game 1, which is going to be magicbullet versus Finalsky. Finalsky, I think you pronounce that. Yeah, so let's get into it. All right. So let's have a look here. In the top right corner of Polypoid, we've got magicbullet from the Nam clan. And here in the bottom, we've got Finalsky for GOSU. magicbullet being a TekAjpu player. Well, I don't mean TekAjpu as in he's going to do a TekAjpu this game. I'm not sure if he is, but he's a member of the team TekAjpu. And we'll see what he wants to do here. I think magicbullet is a very strong player for Tier 3. I think he's probably going to be promoted to Tier 2 next season. He's been playing some really good games, I think. Finalsky, I don't really know that much about. Unfortunately, I've never played him. So we'll see what Terran wants to start with here. My title needs an update. Oh no, I forgot. I forgot to make an update to my title. Well, let me just do that right now, actually. It's already sort of too late, but oh my god. Thanks for pointing it out to me. CPL... semi-finals, Tier 3. Just a second. Done. Okay, I updated the title, but it's already too late, I'm afraid. But, well, we do what we can. So everything looking perfectly normal. And now, first gateway coming up. And by the way, I'm not a Terran or a Protoss player, so if you see something that I'm getting wrong or something that I should be paying attention to, please feel free to point it out. Please feel free to do backseat casting. Right, Terran getting his gas, gonna be getting into the factory as soon as possible. And the first scout going out. Meanwhile, Terran perfectly content to just sit back here. Maybe this is going to be the scout. There he goes. He's going to see... I think he's going to see this probe coming from the bottom, so he's going to know where to go. Chorus coming up. Yeah, the Rex is on the low ground here. And I'm not entirely sure what the... I don't think there's really any danger unless you have a really early Zealot coming out. Of course, when your Zealot goes into the main, you want to have something to be able to defend. You don't want to have to rally your Marines from the low ground. But other than that, I suppose it's probably perfectly fine. Probe going back home. As if he is chilling on the ramp. Be waiting to see what comes out. I guess a goon is going to be the first thing to come out here. So no early Zealot pressure. He's making a bunker. And meanwhile the factory is coming up. So everything looking perfectly fine. Everything looking perfectly macro so far. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what the point of the build is. I'm not a Terran player, unfortunately. I'm not entirely sure how what kind of a plan he has, what kind of how he wants to approach this game. I suppose the next is going to be coming up very soon now. And I'll ski rallying a drone down. And there it comes. Exit. Ta-da! Range being upgraded. And the second factory. Well, we've got a member of TekAjpu Furious. TekAjpu Furious is gonna 2-fact. Who would have thought? Oh, what did he cancel? Did he cancel a depot? What was that? What was he canceling there? Canceling the academy, maybe? Meanwhile, the SCV, I don't think he saw much more besides what he already knew, that there was one gate. So range can be finishing up soon. Second machine shop. Researching mines. Oh, he cancels the mines. I guess he just wants to get his tanks out as soon as possible. And this is going to be a very strong attack, I think, because it doesn't really look like the Protoss is going to be ready for this. You're maybe going to have 3 goons, or maybe 4 goons at the moment that this comes out. He's not making... He's got 4 Marines, and he's got... Oh, actually, he's got 2 here, so... 6 Marines plus 2 tanks. 3 tanks, actually. And then you rally vultures down. I think this is going to be a very strong attack coming up. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it is going to be a little bit late. I'm not sure about the timings myself. But he's got 7 Marines even. Then his 3rd tank must be coming down. Yeah, there's the first vulture. I'm sure he's going to be researching mines now. And yeah, maybe this is a little bit slower than it should be coming out, but it looks to be very strong anyway. 4 goons, second gateway just came up. And they have range, but they don't know that this is coming right now, so he's not going to be able to pick anything off before this gets here. So let's see what these tanks can do. They're doing some serious damage so far. I mean, there's 3 goons left, and one of them is almost dead. Pulls probes, tries to fight with the probes, but these Marines are extremely good against probes. And yeah, I think it's a good move to retreat back up your ramp. But you are 100% losing the natural. And he's actually making more gateways right now. I guess you can only make from 2 gates at a time anyway. 3rd tank just kind of chilling here. But I think this is going to be completely enough. I mean, this bunker's going to come up. I think there's only 1 Marine left, so it's maybe not the biggest deal, but this base is basically falling apart, and there's more vultures being rallied down now. More mines are going to be coming up, and nothing is going to be able to come out of the gateways from here. So yeah, great attack, great 2-fact. Yeah, Shimmer's saying this is going to be rough, but you are absolutely right. It is rough when you're hit with an attack like this. And those mines are just killer. You can't get anything out of your gateways. And it sucks to lose a game this early, but yeah, that happens. I'm kind of expecting to see a GG very soon here. He's got a robo, but you're not going to be able to do anything with this. You're not getting a Reaver out of here without a robotic support anyway. So last goon goes down. Still mines being planted. Yeah, nothing can come out. GG. Very nice attack. Nice quick game. Very well done. It just occurred to me that I forgot to set up a hotkey for my my map pool, or for my results page. Hold on, let me just let me see if I can do that real quick. Well, I think I do. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so that's Magic Bullet 1 for the 2 facts. Let me get game 2 up. Alright, game 2, Neo-Sylphid. The top spawn is Magic Bullet from 2 facts, and in the bottom left is Finalsky, or Finalsky, or however you want to pronounce that name, from GOSU. So yeah, Neo-Sylphid is... how do you guys feel about Neo-Sylphid? I think this is a map... obviously I know it as a Zerg player. And as a Zerg player, I think it's a very nice open map. It's good for mutas. And oh, look at this. This probe is going out very quickly. I was going to talk about the map a little bit, but maybe we should just see what this probe is going to do. I mean, this is much too early for a scout, right? There's no pylon, nothing being made yet. So this might be a proxy. Proxy gates. So we'll see, and see if Magic Bullet is able to make a good SimCity here to protect against that. And this is basically the classic location, right, for the proxy gateways. So he hasn't scouted Magic Bullet yet. So he doesn't know if he's in the top or in the bottom right, but he's guessed very lucky, because this is quite a lot closer to the top spawn than it is to the bottom spawn. So this is a gamble, but yeah, I think this might just work. There they come, 2 gateways. And he is resuming pro production for now. I'm going to scout the bottom, see that Magic Bullet is not there, which is going to be very good, very fortunate. Yeah, you have to be careful if you're going to scout the top base first after doing this, because your probe is going to come out at a different angle, of course, than the one it's supposed to be coming out from. So he's going to see nothing is here, and yeah, this looks extremely good. Going to meet the SCP in the middle. Meanwhile, Terran is yeah, just playing a fairly standard game, but there's more gas being mined again. Rex is perfectly safe in the base this time, so he's going to have some opportunity to micro here. And we'll see how greedy he wants to be, because last game, of course, he did the 2 fact. When you do the 2 facts, you make a lot of Marines, so he might make a lot of Marines ahead of time here, and he might be more ready for the Zealots than you would normally be. But here they come, the first 2 Zealots, and this is going to be very difficult to micro against. Factory already coming up though, so yeah, you have to delay this factory, because the factory really ends the rush. Like, if you can delay and cancel this factory, it's gonna become overwhelming to deal with. Oh, 4 zealots already. One more in production, so... It's not a steady stream of zealots. I don't know if you're supposed to be getting that with this build, but... One more is gonna join. Oh, look at this. There's a forge in the main. He's gonna cannon rush this base. That's so incredibly dirty. Wow, that's amazing. I would not have expected that, but I guess it makes sense because the SimCity it doesn't really allow you to just outright kill Terran, right? And these cannons are very weak. They're very fragile, but I think this is gonna work, honestly, because the second one is gonna warp in and all the Marines are gone. There's a Vulture here, but Vultures don't kill cannons. He's just gonna be making Zealots and cannons, and these... Oh yeah, this one is already in range of the SCVs, so... It's, I think this is just over. I think you're gonna lose the main. Yeah, GG. I don't know if you can fight against this when the third cannon's about to come up. He couldn't even kill the first one. Yeah, that's tricky to play against. And yeah, you can make Marines all you want. You can make Vultures all you want, but you're not getting rid of this that easily. So, GG. We've had very short games so far. So, that's a 1-1. So there we are on Butter. And game number 3 with Finalsky in the top right, magicbullet in the bottom right, with that cool silver color. Wonder if we can switch. No, we can't switch colors, unfortunately. But I guess the gray is all right. It's, I'd say it's probably visible on the minimap. So we're on Butter, the 2-player map, and this is the game to decide who wins the match. And I'm not entirely sure who prefers to play on Butter in this matchup. I've seen a lot of, especially when Butter was still new, I've seen a lot of very quick games on this map. A lot of proxy gates, like around, just outside the natural. And since there's not a ramp, it's you can kind of abuse that, and a build like the one we saw in the last game would work very well, I think, on this map as well. Not sure if he's going to do it again, but yeah, it's something that TekAjpu is going to be keeping in the back of his mind. So yeah, you look at this depot is perfectly placed for SimCity. Maybe barracks is going to come up. This is a normal scout timing, so there's no... I don't think there's going to be any proxy shenanigans right now. And sending out a scout as well. Wouldn't be surprised if he's going to go check for a proxy. Sees everything is alright. At least over there. You can never be sure. It's a big map. And meanwhile, 4 is coming up, so... It's not an aggressive play from Protoss this time. Protoss mixing it up. And there's 2 SCVs on gas this time. Instead of 3. This probe just being annoying. I think this is one of the things that you... one of the things that's fun to learn if you're a tier 3 player, to kind of have fun annoying your opponent with your workers. It's very difficult to do, but it's pretty cool if you can do it, right? And this is sort of like it's very difficult to macro up while microing at the same time, especially when you don't really have to. I mean, your worker doesn't really have to do anything in their base. It's nice if you can get some harass off, but that's not really what you're interested in. You're just interested in scouting and making sure that your opponent isn't doing something crazy. But it's maybe it's not a bad way to practice doing macro and micro at the same time. So Terran has switched to 1 on gas. Protoss is still mining gas 3 at a time. And there's 4 Marines in the bunker, which is a very, very safe. There's only 1 factory this time though. And you don't have enough gas to do a 2-fact attack, of course. So Magic Bullet's probably just waiting for the minerals to come in to make a CC. Meanwhile, Finalsky is really safe as well. Actually, he's just making like mass salads right now, which is kind of surprising. And I think Terran is just gonna walk up and scout this, because they're all right at the front. So he's banking zealots. Maybe gonna go for some kind of timing attack. But I figure once the Vulture's out, yeah, he's got a Citadel of Doom, so... These are going to be speedlots. He's going to try to run them over with speedlots, I guess. And if your Zealots have lag speed, then I'm not sure if 1 Vulture is going to be enough against them. Without speed, that is, on the Vulture. I don't think you can kite with a slow Vulture against fast Zealots, but I'm not sure about that. Actually, he's not making lag speed. I see a Robo, but this is the only thing I see. I don't see a Templar Archives or anything. Ah, there it is. There it is. Templar Archives, okay. So this is going to be a quick DT drop. And I don't know if Magic Bullet is going to realize that this might be a possibility. That he should get... He has 1 turret at the front, but he doesn't have a turret in the main, which is where the drop is most likely going to go. The DT is making quite a lot of them, actually. So he's gonna wait until he has 4 DTs. Maybe get a Zealot in there as well. Something to make sure that Terran can't micro against it that easily. But there's 1 turret up, so... At the very least, I don't think Terran is going to die. But you do want to have... Yeah, there's another turret coming up. You want to have enough coverage for all your important buildings, right? So there's 4 DTs. There's no second shuttle coming just yet. Here we go. But this is so smart, you know, having these floating buildings out. You don't need them anymore. See the shuttle coming, and the shuttle is actually, it's not going straight for the main. There's all these mines there. This is not going to work. Yeah, it's very good to kill that that turret, but... Hold on, does Terran not have scanners yet? Yeah, Terran doesn't have a scanner yet. Wow. That's a bit surprising. I actually just assumed that there was going to be a comm set in the natural, but I guess not. So this is really bad, because now you've got a pretty big blank spot all over your base. And he's actually killing just way too many SCVs here. But that said, Protoss doesn't have a lot of drones either, and it's not actually making any right now. Yeah, I'm really surprised that he didn't make a... I guess he doesn't have an academy yet. He's just making it right now. Yeah, he can cancel this upgrade, that's amazing. This did way more damage than I thought it would. I did not think it was gonna end up just completely killing. It didn't kill the main, but it killed way more SCVs than I thought it would. And now this upgrade is cancelled. Really bad. But in the end, it's cleaned up. And let's see where we're at here, because Protoss is just getting his natural up right now. So Protoss actually had to sacrifice a lot of econ to be able to do this. And right now, they're actually even in worker count. And Protoss doesn't really have an army. So I would actually say I don't think that Protoss is ahead after that attack, despite the fact they did a lot more than I thought it would. I think Terran should be able to get back on his feet after that. I think eventually there's just going to be a move out, and I think the move outs are going to be pretty powerful. And I don't really know what you're looking for as a Terran in this situation, what your plan is going to be. It's clear at the very least that Protoss is completely contained in their base, probably on a pretty low probe count because they had to afford this big attack. There's a Reaver coming out now, so that's going to be a good follow-up. But there are already a lot of turrets in place. But I think you do need to have the Reaver here when the army comes out to attack. So Magic Bullet, using his scans, knows exactly what's up. There's a small move out here, which is... You can't even really call this an army, actually. It's like, it's almost nothing. More scans. Going down. Sorry, I actually looked at the wrong, the wrong vision just now. But we know that Magic Bullet knows what's going on. This is just all tanks here, by the way. And there's a couple of vultures over here, but... Yeah, in the end, this is just such a small army, you can't really do anything with this. Not against this many tanks. But let's see what the Reaver can do. Very nice unsiege. Well done. Oh my. Yeah, this was just handled so beautifully by Magic Bullet. Really well done. And now there's going to be turrets up in the natural as well, so you're not going to get much done with Shuttle Reaver anymore. And at this point, I'm not sure what Protoss can actually do, because Terran's just going to get a really big, powerful tank army. upgrade is making right now. It is very nice that Protoss managed to delay the upgrades. Yeah, now the gateways are coming down, but Protoss just barely has the economy to support this machine, this macro machine. Yeah, everything's just gonna melt in front of these tanks. If they can get over here, that's just gonna be the end of the game. But Terran has to macro up a bit more first before they can do that. Protoss going for a third. I guess Protoss wants to try and play a risky game to try and come back here. Because you're not going to be able to defend this if Terran knows about it. And Terran knows about it, just scanned it. So Magic Bullet really on top of his scans. I told you he's a good player. I think he's going to be tier 2 next season probably. Yeah, and this is loved. There's about as many tanks as there are goons at this point. I do like that he's getting Psystorm. He's getting Templar. And I guess he's already researched Psystorm. So yeah, Magic Bullet's totally on top of everything. I wonder if he's gonna try to do a Storm Drop with this actually. Whoa, 4 Templar being loaded up. I guess he wants to keep them safe. And he's gonna keep them with the army. Yeah, look at this. This is the Terran way. You just... what's that quote from the battlecruiser? Take it slow. Set a course, take it slow, make it happen. That's the Terran motto. Yeah, look at this amount of factories. It's gonna be crazy macro. And there's no... Okay, he's getting his Stargate up right now, sorry. But, there's no tech in the immediate future for Protoss other than just gateway units. And Terran is matching the Protoss in workers, so... Magic Bullet taking his third. Oh, that was a big hit. Look at that. Wow. That hit did like 600 damage or maybe 800 damage or something like that. Yeah, Terran is a very formidable army right now. But the attack has not yet come, so Protoss has been able to build his economy back up, and he is getting into more tech now. I mean, if he's gonna... Maybe, yeah, there's the Arbiter Tribunal, so he's gonna go for Arbiters. Which Magic Bullet scans. And it feels to me like this is probably a good move out time, because you've got so much. You've got these Goliaths against the shuttles. Maybe you want to have another round of Vultures, I'm not sure. Maybe some Vultures would be good, but other than that, I think you have enough tanks to do a very devastating attack. And meanwhile, Protoss is getting his 4th, so... his 3rd has gone completely unharassed by the Terran. So, you know, why not? If you can get away with it, why not? that's the way you can get back as Protoss here. More scans going down. Sees that the arbiters are making right now. And good work by Finalsky to clear some of this minefield. Terran sees that there's nothing behind this, so he might just run up and... Oh, actually the Protoss is actually running into the tanks, so all these goons get picked off for free. And these are kind of like... This is not the kind of army movement you want to have. These small groups of units walking around. But it's very difficult, of course, to move an army around. Try to scan to kill this observer. Apparently doesn't get it. And meanwhile, this fourth base is up, so this is actually going to become a problem for Terran if Terran doesn't start doing something. But it looks like the move out is happening now, and this is a huge army. A very scary, big army. And if you can control it right, I think this might just run over the Protoss here, because it's... tanks are so strong. And Protoss doesn't really have the army, I think, to deal with this. I mean, there's only a few more zealots. He does have Psystorm, though, so we'll see what he can do with that. But when you just have goons, and you lay a good round of mines, and you have all these tanks here in siege mode, I don't think it's going to do much. Yeah, look at these zealots just being shredded. Nice Psystorm, but... Oh, that's a nice one as well. But the Templars do get picked off, and I mean, it doesn't matter if you lose all your vultures if there's no more zealots, right? Big siege up, and yeah, this is a devastating attack. This choke is very small. He might have thought about killing these pylons before this attack to get his army out a bit more easily, because this is coming out too slowly for these to be able to touch these siege tanks. And ultimately, this is the weak point of the Protoss, right? It's when you've got all your gates in one location. You can't flank Terran if you don't have gates on some other place on the map. Yeah, I think this is just gonna be it. I mean, the arbiters are out, but they can't really do anything. There's no army. You can stay as half the army, but then you can't fight the other half because there's nothing left. Maybe the next round will come out, and maybe then Protoss can try to fight back, but look at this, mines are being laid. It's just beautiful. Very nice game by magicbullet. He's a strong macro player. Factories are all making, producing. A couple of vultures stuck here, but oh well. Yeah, this third is gonna fall, and he hasn't... I don't think he's seen the fourth yet, but it doesn't matter. Look at these mines, just incinerating the goons. It's a nice mine drag. Yeah, there's nothing left. I think almost everything of the 60 supply is in probes. I mean, it's a shame when you're 1-1, you don't want to give up that easily, because you know that you fought hard. You want to get the 2-1, but I'm afraid it's not going to be possible for Finalsky. There's the GG. Good game, well played. Yeah, it was very well played. It was a good game. So that's a 2-1 for Too Fact, Too Furious. Alright, up next we've got Phoenix 2470 versus Flipendo. Let's have a look. It's going to be a ZVZ. The best matchup. StarCraft distilled into its purest form. Oh, what's this? Oh guys, I'm sorry. It seems they uploaded the replays in the wrong order, so... I'm sorry, this is butter. We're not supposed to be seeing this game. Actually, I'm just going to pause, and I'm going to open up the correct first replay. As sometimes this happens when you upload the games in the wrong order. What ends up happening is they get reordered into game 1, game 2, game 3 with the wrong maps. So this is the real first game on Polypoid. Bit of a spoiler, I'm sorry. Alright, here we are on Polypoid, the first map. It's Flipendo. Not Flipendo, but Flipendo. For GOSU. He is in the top right corner. And Phoenix 2470, the bottom left corner. So let's have a look at what kind of builds these guys want to go with. And I actually played Phoenix 2470 yesterday. Don't want to spoil it, but yeah. Let's just say I'm primed to be seeing certain builds come out. But I'm not entirely sure about Flipendo. I've never played him, but I know that Phoenix is a good player. And Zerg vs Zerg is a very interesting matchup. It's very pure in a way. It's you get your overlord over your opponent's base, which means you get to have a lot of information right away. Which means it's a matchup that teaches you a lot about scouting your opponents and reacting based on what the opponent's doing. And here we see Phoenix is going for a 9 pull. Meanwhile, Flipendo is making an overlord and making drones. So I guess it's going to be either a 12 pull or a 12 hatch. And, you know, I think on a map like Polypoid, a 4-player map, generally what you want to do is you generally want to go a little bit more greedy, because your opponent can't just find you right away. But Phoenix is actually sending out a drone scout, which is very unusual for CVZ. And typically you want to send out a drone scout if you're doing a hyper-aggressive build, like maybe a 5 pull, 4 pull, or 9 pull speed, but he's just going for a regular 9 pull. But he managed to scout. And I'll tell you, when I see a drone coming up to my base in CVZ, I'm scared. I panic. Because I'm expecting shenanigans. And look at this, there's the first lings are out. They're not being rallied just yet. Did Phoenix maybe miss scouts? Maybe did he get the wrong idea? Maybe he thought that his opponent was scouting this base? I'm not entirely sure why he's going into this direction. Also, sorry, I just noticed I left the replay counter on. But no, he knows he's in top left, right? And the Zerglings are being sent that way now. And the first lings are out, so this should be a hold from Flipendo, especially with those drones there. Look at that. Yeah, this should be a comfortable hold for Flipendo. And the Phoenix wisely backs off. So yeah, this is a very good position for Flipendo. And meanwhile, Phoenix hasn't even taken his gas yet. He's just getting his second hatchery. But Flipendo is not moving his overlord down to look into the base. Which means he hasn't seen what's going on yet. I mean, for all he knows, there could be a lair on the way. For now, both sides are just massing up lings. And Flipendo has a bit of an advantage because his hatchery was up a little bit earlier. And he has... oh, look at this. What's this going to do? I think Flipendo has just slightly more links, right? Oh, he decides to back off. Doesn't want to commit to the attack. There were a few extra links in the Bane, but I don't see any now. Decides to run back home. Yeah, he's getting into his lair, and Phoenix is just making his natural geyser, so... Phoenix doesn't look like he's gonna be teching into higher tech anytime soon. Oh, but he is taking this hidden hatchery here. I guess that's what the drone was being sent out for, but this is only just finishing right now, so... I guess this is gonna be he's gonna try to build up his lings a little bit, because he knows that Flipendo is only on 2 hatch. But he's gonna have to hurry up because the Spire just started. And Phoenix actually never sent his Overlord to Filipendo's base, so he doesn't know what's going on. But this is a lot of links. He's just getting a creep colony up, but this is not gonna finish in time. I think Phoenix might actually just win the fight here and be able to kill a lot of drones. Well, we'll see. Maybe this sunk finishes just in time. No, I don't think it will. Just barely finishes. Kind of a little bit surprised. I was kind of expecting Phoenix to try and break his way through, go up the ramp, but now this is not going to work anymore. Spire is almost done. Flipendo has a lot of gas. Actually a little bit heavy on gas. Needs to focus a little bit more on minerals right now. I think with the sunk there and with this amount of links, he's going to be safe for a while. So I think the Mutas is just going to come over, and if we don't get... Oh, look, there's a 4th hatch. Wow. Yeah, there's an Evo Chamber coming up right now, but I don't think there's any way you can hold the Mutas anyway. You're going to have to sacrifice all your drones, and you can't really support this many hatches anyway. So I think this is going to be the last big attack, and it might work because the sunk is very low, and Flipendo never remade links because he hasn't been really looking at Phoenix's link count. So this just might break through. This sunk's going to go down, and oh, the Mutas are out just in time, but he is going to lose some drones. Flipendo not really on top of taking these links down. They're actually getting the hatch really low. They were never going to get it, but I'm really surprised they even got that far. But now I think he's going to have spores up in time. So this game might actually go on for quite a bit longer. And he's got this hidden base, which is never going to be found. Wow, what an interesting play. And Phoenix has 17 drones, which is an absolutely insane drone count for CVZ. And I think at this point, Flipendo might actually consider getting a 3rd hatch and going back into lings. Because you've got this many spores, and it's going to be a while before before you can get any tech going, right? Unless it's just gonna... Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he's gonna just mass up just an absolutely absurd amount of lings and try to kill the base before the Mutas can kill his lings. I'm not sure, but I feel like he has to go into some sort of higher tech here. You can't win this game just with lings anymore. Maybe when there's a few Mutas out you can still do that, but not at this point. So let's see what he's gonna go with here. Oh yeah, still just no lair. Just mass amount of spores, and there's no sunks, so I still feel like he's vulnerable here, despite all the hatches and despite all the drones. mean, if Flipendo had a third hatch and just committed to making all lings, you could attack this. Oh, look at that. Look at that. There's a Hydra den. We're gonna get Hydras. Hydras are tough to fight against, and I do really like that Flipendo is getting a third hatch here. Yeah, and he needs to have some lings out there, because a Sunk is actually very weak to lings if there's nothing to protect them. So I like that he's getting a third hatch, he's getting a third base, he's gonna have to drone up. And he hasn't actually scouted the Hydra den yet. I mean, he doesn't even know that there's no lair for Phoenix. But that is basically what he needs to do. He needs to drone up and he needs to get his econ on a similar level as Phoenix. Strange little attack, doesn't really damage anything. Damages the Sunk a little bit, but that's about it. Yeah, and now the goal for Phoenix is to just get a critical mass of Hydras. Get range, get the speed upgrade, and get the +1 upgrade. And if you're playing against this, he does have the carapace, which is extremely important. You need your carapace upgrades against Hydras, and you need to drone up, you need to get a good economy, and then you need to be able to just produce mass mutaling from your 3 or 4 bases. And that's basically the only way you can fight against it. And Flipendo is now getting a Hydra den as well, and I don't think he's actually scouted the Hydras, so unless I missed something. But we have a first time chat from Phoenix2470. He's in the chat. He says, I hate mutas and I will never use them. Why do you hate mutas? What do you got against mutas, man? Mutas are cool. But yeah, who needs mutas when you've got Hydras, man? I mean, these mutas are not being microed, and mutas beat Hydra, but when Hydra get to this number, you don't really need to do much with them for them to be very effective. And look how fast these mutas are being shredded once they're being targeted down. And I think this is going to be repelled. Actually, I'm not entirely sure if it is, but there's not that many Hydras left, so I think he will just barely clean this up. But you know, the muta count is pretty low right now. And this is gonna... Phoenix has a beautiful economy behind this, so... Look at this, he already has like 2 control groups of Hydras right behind this, so... I think he's basically almost at the point where you can just A-move. And there he goes, yeah. They don't have the +1 yet, but I think it's going to be finishing pretty quickly. Yeah, there it is. And I don't think... Well, now he's getting Hydras of his own, so... I don't think it's going to be enough, but we'll see. And this is going to be a pretty difficult fight to call, because the Hydras aren't really coming in from a very good angle. They're coming in a little bit in a line, but they're pretty strong, and the mutas are getting shredded. And now there's just 3 Hydras against almost a control group. And look at how fast they're shredding through this Sun, by the way. Again, I think this is just barely going to be held, but Flipendo doesn't really have the account. Oh, maybe he's actually not going to hold it. No, he will, just barely. Yeah, there's almost nothing left, and I like that Flipendo is continuing on with mutas. But yeah, you look at this. There's already 2 control groups ready, just waiting to go. Because Phoenix is an absolutely bizarre economy for ZVZ. 32 drones versus 23, 35 drones even. Yeah, so eventually he's gonna break him. I do think maybe he should try to bank up his Hydras just a little bit more. Oh, look at this, there's a Lurker out. Lurkers are extremely strong against Hydras. Especially since Phoenix doesn't actually have an Overlord over here. So now he's gonna have to, he's making his lair right now. Because you can't actually make Overlord speed if you don't have a lair, so... It's gonna take like maybe 2 minutes for an Overlord to get over here if he doesn't have speed. So this one Lurker is actually holding back this entire Hydra army. Which is kind of hilarious. But who knows, maybe Flipendo actually sealed his own death warrant by doing that. Because now the Hydras are gonna be banked up. And Phoenix's economy is much better than Filipendo's, so... If he banks his Hydras up, what can you do against that? Discovers the third base, and stunks are very strong against Hydras, I think, but not when they're in this small numbers. And again, the mute account's just being reset. And mutas work just like Hydras in that they really need to be in a critical mass. Bringing up a Lurker, very nice. So I think he's gonna save this hatch. But at the same time, I hope he's got Lurkers at home. I don't think he does. He doesn't have Lurkers at home, and these Hydras can actually just walk into the natural. I don't think he's one in the main either. Oh, you don't want to attack this third. A lot of free damage on these Hydras. Yeah, but it's almost like a noose. It's just getting tighter and tighter around Filipendo's neck. So here come the slow overlords. They're coming, and the upgrade is almost done. Ah, there it is. We've got fast overlords now. These lurks gonna get shredded. They're actually low priority targets, I guess, so the Hydras weren't targeting them right away. But now this third's gonna fall, and who knows, we might actually see GG from Flipendo here. I think it can still play on, but with this third hatch falling, I think pretty much his hopes for winning this game are completely gone now. GG! Yeah, very nice example of the Hydra build. Well done. Well done. So let's update the scoreboard in just a second. It's Phoenix 1. Let's flip in those 0. Just double checking to make sure this is the correct map. All right, game 2 on Neo Sylphid. There's one drone not mine. Oh, there it is. It goes Phoenix 2470 in the bottom right corner, and Flipendo for GOSU in the top position. It's a little bit harder to split your drones on the top position, so don't worry about it. So let's see if Phoenix wants to go for aggression again. He went 9 pool versus a 12. I actually forgot if it was a 12 hatch or 12 pool from Flipendo. Everything looking normal so far. There's no 5 pool, no 4 pool, no 3 pool. If that even exists. And Flipendo is going gas first. Wow, so this is probably going to be a 1-base build, I would have to think. He's going to try to get his mutas out as quickly as possible. But Phoenix is going to get first scout. And Phoenix is actually going for a 9 pool. Oh wow. 9 pool with the extractor trick. So we'll see how this pans out. I think you can hold this with a 1-base build, but yeah, it's a little bit difficult. It's a totally different style of play, and it doesn't really work for everyone. I've played with it a little bit in the past, but I don't think it's a very comfortable build personally, because if you're on one hatch, on one base, then even when you get your mutas out, you only get 3 mutas out at a time, so it still takes a while to actually get anything done with your mutas, even if they're out very early. Excuse me. There are the first lings. And they're not being rallied right away. I think when you're doing a 9 pool, you should just set your rally point in the opponent's base. Just for the first lings at least. Get them out there, or at least get them to your natural. But there's a sunk here, so you're not going to break this with just a few lings. And this is really the power of this 1-base setup, which is that your sunk is in the mineral line, so that your lings can't really get to it. They have to walk through the drones, and you need to micro them intensely to get them over there. Oh, but this is actually a very nice catch. Like, this is the problem with sending out a few lings, is if you have less lings than your opponent, they're gonna get absolutely slaughtered. It's not gonna be an even trade. So that's a very nice pick off to begin with. But unfortunately, you can't just A-move in here. So, sees that there's a sunk over there. I think you can break this with mass ling. Oh, well, there's an evil chamber coming up right away. It's going to be a while before the spire is up, though. But it's better to get things early than to get them too late. And I like that Phoenix has squeezed out a few more drones. He's mining a lot of gas now, so I guess he's probably going to be going back into the Hydra build, because it's very strong. Works very well. It's very hard to play against. And for now, these lings are they're doing their job by just confirming that there's no second base. He is going to get a second hatchery. And he should be making at least 1 overlord here. Yeah, he's not going to have the minerals to make a lot of mutas right away, though. So the creeps are just coming up, and these mutas aren't going to be able to do much for now. Oh, sorry. But still, this is like, if you're scouting this, I think you can... I think you could have done some serious damage if you'd made like a couple of rounds of lings here. Because there is only 1 sunk, and he never actually made more lings. Just these 6. So if you have like maybe control group and a half, you can probably break this. But the first mutas are going to be out. It's going to be just 2 mutas. He's making some extra lings, so he's going to be trying to maybe break his natural, get out of his natural. And it looks like Phoenix is playing just turtle up, which is good because it won him the last game. Was a fine move. So getting up to a reasonable amount of mutas now. And the first hydras are out. Zoom in on that hydra den. Beautiful. It's a very nice looking building actually, I think. It's kind of like this wing. Quite nice. So this part looks kind of like a muta. It's like a ground muta, I guess. Alright, and this is the weakness of when you're scoring up like this, is when you don't have that many mutas yet, you just have spores, and spores don't do anything against Zerg. And actually hydras are quite weak to mutas at the beginning, when they don't really have the critical mass yet. Actually all these mutas are just attacking the hatchery for some reason. Yeah, they're just 4 hydras here, you can easily kill that off with mutas. So I think actually that Flipendo might just break in here. He might just have found the weakness of this build, which that it takes a little bit of time to get set up. These mutas are basically uncontested now. I mean, you get three hydras at a time from this hatch. Oh, he's actually still making this hatch as well, because this hatch didn't fall. So now he actually can break this, but looks like more mutas are coming up from the main base, and they're gonna, again, I don't think he should be focusing down this hatch. Focus down these hydras. Yeah, GG. Phoenix realizing that he can't quite stop the mutas at this point. You really need that critical mass of hydras before he can do anything. So, yeah, nice game. Let's make that a 1-1. Let's load up the third game. We were spoiled earlier that there is a third game at all, because it's on Butter. Games were given the wrong uploaded in the wrong order or something. So Butter, here we are. Flipendo, Phoenix. Flipendo is in the bottom right corner. Phoenix in the top right corner. And yeah, this if you want to be good at CVZ, I'm saying this as someone who also is not good at CVZ. If you want to be good at CVZ at this level, you need to learn to play against the Hydra build, because it's tough to play against. It's very strong. Then just droning up. Phoenix is not droning up. He's got money for drones. He's not making any drones. He's making a spawning pool. I think he had 6 drones when he made that, so this is the 6th pool. That's interesting. Well, this is the map you're gonna do that on. You're gonna do this on Butter if you're gonna do this at all, and Flipendo is going for the extractor again, so I think this is gonna work, because the pool is gonna be late. He's gonna have gas that's gonna be completely useless. We're gonna see 6 lings in about 10 seconds. And the pool's only just started. And I think if they get rallied down quickly enough, this is just gonna end the game right away. And there we go. Yeah, this pool was going to be another 30 seconds out or so. Maybe 25 seconds or so. It's going to take maybe about 20 seconds to get over there. But he's not going to have larvae in time, unless I guess he has to stop making drones right now. Yeah, he should have actually stopped making drones a while back, because right before your spawning pool gets to the halfway point, you stop making drones so that you can make 6 lings right away. So these lings are going to come down and they're going to just kill everything in contested. There's going to be a sunken colony though, but I don't think it's going to matter, because there's not going to be any lings, not going to be enough lings. I think this is going to hit just quickly enough. And here they come. And there's a drone to make a sunk in the main, which is a good move. Oh my god. I wonder if this is actually in range of the sunk. I think it's just barely not in range. Yeah, look at that. He's just going to wait for the sunk to finish. He can just attack the drones to get them away, and yeah, I think this is going to be it. I don't think there's anything you can do about this. I mean, he's making lings, but you can't even take down this sunk with if all these lings were hatched right now. Yeah. This is just gonna be it, because this sunk can't be hit by this sunk, and the hatch is in range of the sunk. So it's over. Very nicely done. Nice job. Very. I'm not sure if I should be congratulating someone who went 6 pool, but it worked, and sometimes you have to throw in the cheese. It works. This spore is behavior is very weird. It's trying to attack the drones, of course, so it's not attacking the lair. It's kind of funny. GG, there it is. So the cheeser wins the day. Well done by Phoenix. That's a 2-1. So TekAjpu is doing pretty well so far. Let's go over to our next series. And this is going to be TekAjpu versus Arcanewinds. A PvP. In the bottom left corner, we've got how do you pronounce that? TekAjpu, AJPU. I'm not sure. And it's Arcanewinds. I'm just gonna call him Tek. I hope he doesn't mind. Tek's for too fast, too fact, too furious. I'm sorry. Nothing to do with too fast, too furious. Completely copyright distinct. And let's see what kind of builds these guys want to do, if either of them wants to get really aggressive. I like PvP, I think it's a very interesting mashup. I don't play Protoss myself, but I actually kind of, I wouldn't mind giving Protoss a try, just to get a handle on this mashup. So it looks like everything totally even so far. I don't know if you can expect a divergence in builds this early in PvP. Gateway for both players. A scout. And I guess they're both going to go to the close spawn. Or is either of them going to scout cross map? I don't think so, no. But they're gonna meet in the middle here. Let's just wait for that. Wait for that fated moment. There they are. And you're like, hey. Gives him a slap on his way out. Well, shield's already healed back to 20, but yeah. It's a nice little style move. So both players gonna find each other right away because of that, and it's like both players are just getting a zealot. You don't want to get yourself Manor Pylon or anything like that. And this is interesting. The core came up a little bit later for Arcane. So it's a small difference, but might add up to something. And Tek's probe is actually still in the base. Well, I guess he shows it, but not much more to see. I'm not sure. I think he would have seen that though, right? Actually, this probe actually just can't leave. It's being blocked by the bouncer. Yeah, this is nice though. Let's look at how Arcanewinds is keeping this probe alive. Sees the second gateway coming up. That's nice. Over here we don't have a second gateway just yet, so... finally gonna catch the probe, very nice. And Robo, so yeah. We're gonna have two gates versus Robo. Gate Robo. And Tek's actually moving out, which is not something I was expecting in this kind of setup. I mean, this is not really an army. I'm not entirely sure what you're going to be doing with this. I guess maybe it's to try and scout, but if you're blocking a ramp like this, you're not getting up, no matter what you do. Is you just going to try to rally units down there? I don't think you can make that work, to be honest. Second gateway is coming up. And I wonder why the probe is here, actually. Yeah, you're not really gonna get much done here. But I think Arcane should be on his back on his ramp. Once you're back at the top of this ramp, you can't really be broken. A shame he doesn't get this goon right here, but yeah, he's perfectly safe. Ops coming up, support base, so we're gonna get a Reaver out. And meanwhile, Tek's getting a robot facility as well. And he's getting his natural, so... Gonna be able to catch up in probe count, which right now is quite behind. But Arcanewinds is completely fine right at this moment. I think once the Reaver's out, you're probably gonna try to want to try to push down to be able to take your natural. And again, Tek's testing this ramp, which isn't really gonna get him any value. Actually manages to pick off that one weakened Dragoon as well. So now Arcane can just freely take his natural. Yeah, so Tek didn't really manage to get anything done. I think he should probably just hold back here and work on his economy. Get his drone count up and try to push ahead that way. Because he did get his natural a lot sooner. His Nexus is finishing up now, and this Nexus is not even halfway done. And he's going to have a Reaver here, so you're not really in a position to be able to do any damage for a while. And the third gate is gotten up for Tek. In his observer as well. I don't see a robotic support facility yet, so that should probably be coming up soon as well. Maybe it's just gonna make observers. It's possible. But there's a Reaver over here, and actually getting two Reavers, so these are defensive Reavers. He might think about getting a shuttle and going over to do some damage. I'm not sure if people do that a lot in tier 3. Observer gonna be flying in, checking around. There is an observer here, so gonna have to be careful. It might get picked off. There's a 4th gate. Ooh. And a citadel going down, so let's see what he wants to go with this. I'm guessing he wants to get Dark Templars, maybe drop them off in the main. So Arcane is going to see everything that's going on. Sees the citadel. He's making zealot legs. Okay. So I'm guessing that Tech is gonna go, yeah, we see him. Gonna get a lot of zealots and then try to break him that way, but with these Reavers here and this amount of goons, I think the DPS is gonna be really high. I'm not sure if you can make that work so easily. He's upgrading shuttle speed, so... Three Reavers. This is safer than the White House, this place right now. So I don't know why the Reavers are crawling over to some place by themselves. I don't know where they're going. And these gateways are not producing right now. Oh, he's supply blocked, I guess. Look at these Reavers just crawling all the way across map over to the enemy base. It's quite amazing. I mean, who needs shuttles here, right? It's 200 minerals. You can get 4 probes for that, so just don't get a shuttle. Just crawl your Reavers over. It's cheaper. It's the budget version. Now these Reavers are all the way out in front with nothing to protect them. So one gets picked off right away. Oh, gets a good scarab off. And even though the Reavers got picked off much too easily, there's just way more goons here for Arcane. So he's going to push this back, and there's actually very little in the natural here. I think there's actually way more for Arcanewinds here. And there's actually nothing at home for Arcane, so... We'll see. I think this is just too much, right? I think unless Tech has like way better micro, I think you're just going to clear this entire natural. Maybe there's a round of units coming out soon, but yeah, he's got 4 gateways, but he's not producing from all of them. I don't think he has the economy to do so. But now it's a much more even fight. I think maybe Tech should have gone up his ramp and moved all his probes back. Oh, actually, the replay just ends. I guess... I'm actually not sure. I guess Tech just left the game. I'm assuming that Arcane is not the one who left the game, so I guess this is GG. With a win for Arcanewinds. Very nicely done. And let's see about game 2 on Neo Sylphid. So we have in the top spawn Arcanewinds from the Nam clan playing for GOSU. And here in the bottom left corner it's Tech for 2 Furious. Now let's see what these guys want to do. I think the last game was... I think the economy kind of wasn't managed correctly by Tech. I think he didn't really have the economy needed to support everything he was trying to do. And that allowed Arcanewinds to get ahead. But again, I'm not a Protoss player, so if there's anyone in the chat, anyone who plays Protoss, anyone wants to tell me that I'm wrong about everything, feel free. It's cool. It's all good. I'm just learning this matchup as well, so learning how it operates. It's a very early scout, I think. Kind of feels to me like that other game we saw against magicbullet, where suddenly there were gateways like over here. Yeah, we need more crawling reavers, man. I don't understand why people make shuttles. They're just too expensive. And there's 2 gates right off the bat. So Arcane getting aggressive. We're gonna see a gas steal? Nah, I guess not. Gonna scout, see where Tech is. Tech decides to match the 2 gates. Which of course you have to. Your opponent has 2 gates and decides to get aggressive. You need to be able to counter that. Because there's no ramp on this map, so you don't have the high ground advantage. Sees that nothing is here, so knows that it's the bottom left spawn. And first cells are already coming out, and I guess Arcane is going to try to be aggressive right off the bat, right here. No core just yet. You do have this choke though, making it difficult to stop any kind of hyper aggression right early on. And both sides just massing up zealots at this point. There's still scout in Arcane's base, so Tech knows what's going on. He knows that zealots are being produced. He knows that no other tech is, I guess the core is coming up now, yeah. You need the core. And he's actually leaving his choke, which is, I guess it makes sense, because right now it's 4 versus 2. I'm not sure if you saw that, but maybe just poked out check. Notices that he's got an advantage, and this is very good move out from Tech. So he's actually pushing this all the way back. The Zealots don't even bother to group up and fight. He's actually going to try to hold the ramp himself. He made a shield battery. So because of this shield battery, you're never going to break this choke here. And now there's actually 5 Zealots, so I think Tech's going to... He shouldn't be pushing his luck here. Yeah. This is almost like a CVC fight, like Lynx versus Lynx, but you can't really get anything done. But I guess Tech's gonna stay around here and see when a natural's gonna get taken. Oh, actually there's a goon, so never mind. He's gonna have to go back home. And well, now he's got 2 goons, 1 extra zealot, so I guess maybe if Arcanewinds doesn't really want to chase him down here because it's going to be a fight in the middle of the map. Well, still, I guess this is still perfectly even, actually. The only difference is Arcanewinds managed to drone up a lot more during that time, as 19 drones to Tech's 14 drones. So Arcane no longer interested in using that choke. Gonna be taking down the egg. Just right as this army is coming in. Well, this is actually starting off as a very nice engage for Tech. But the shield battery really pulling its weight here. And now there's nothing you can really do. So he's got 3 gates, he's got Templar archives. So oh, we actually don't have any kind of tech from Arcanewinds. There's no robo, there's no ops. Two DTs are on their way. This is just game over. It is a robotics facility, but where's the robo? Oh, he builds it over here. Oh my god. I totally missed that. There's a robo over here. Yeah, I don't think you're gonna be able to do anything. There's no observatory, and the DTs are already on their way. And he's actually very. He's happy that the army is actually going out because now the DTs can just walk in. There's nothing you can do.
Zergling reinforcements arriving.
Phoenix, thanks for the follow, man. Zergling reinforcements, always welcome. As we watch these DTs totally ruin Arcanewinds' day. Let's see how fast the GG is gonna be. This is just, it's cruel, isn't it? Actually not getting that many kills right now. What are they gonna do? I guess this one's gonna go for the Nexus. This one's just gonna chase the probes away somewhere. Yeah, but well, this is not really safe. You're saving the probes, but what are they gonna do? I mean, are they gonna long distance mine? At least the observatory is coming up now, so you can actually begin to clear these DTs. And surprisingly, you didn't go for the Nexus. I guess just getting the pylon is good enough. This one's actually still powered. This one is not. I actually need to kill this pylon as well. But that's GG. There's nothing you can really do about this. Yeah, Invisible Men. They're pretty good. Invisible Men. So that's a 1-1. Text is really ugly. It's not centered. Oh well, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. That means we go on to game 3 on Butter. And Butter is a very interesting map for PvP, I think. Just in general, 2-player maps for PvP. Alright, in the bottom we've got Tech for 2-2 Furious. At the top we've got Arcanewinds for GOSU. Excuse me. Just building probes right now. See what they want to do. It does seem that Arcanewinds is happy to do more technical plays. Use a Reaver, use a shuttle, even build a proxy robo. Didn't get to use it, but maybe we'll see it again. I don't know. And there's a probe going out very early. I'm being put down here. And where's this probe going? Gateway coming up. And in the meantime, there's going to be a pylon over here. There is going to be something over here, right? He didn't just send out his probe for no reason. I guess he wanted to get 2 gateways down as soon as possible, but I don't really understand why this probe is here. Maybe he's going to make a 3rd gate? He won't have the economy for that for a while, though. Maybe he was planning to proxy something, but then changed his mind. I'm not sure. You're a smart person. Please tell me why this probe is there. Why Tech hasn't taken his gas yet? Just gonna go with just pure Zealot? I find that hard to believe. Come on, steal the gas. Why not? Come on. Just take the gas. So meanwhile, Arcanewinds is just going through normal developments. Matches the gate count. Ah, there we have it. Pylon coming up. Arcanewind's gonna knock this probe away. Shield batteries coming up. So Arcane doesn't want to be caught off guard by some kind of hyper-aggressive play. And the Zealots are already coming, so this might not be a bad idea. And there's a third gateway, yeah. It had to be something like that, because you can't have anything else at this point. So 4 gateways coming up, but are you going to have the economy to actually do something with this, is my question. Because 4 gateways it's a lot of money. That's a nexus worth of Zealots you produce from that in one go. And this probe is still here. It hasn't been knocked away yet, so... Arcanewinds knows what's coming. And when you know what's coming, that's very powerful. And look at that shield battery, just doing its work. Really nice. Alright, this one's producing. This one's gonna be producing in a second. No, it's not producing yet. No, we're not actually seeing that much production from Tech at this moment. I mean, he got 4 gateways. You have to do something with them, right? And just make gateways and then not use them. Okay, here we come. Oh, I guess maybe he was supply blocked for a little while. And this is really looking like a CVC at this point. Just both sides massing up lings. Except instead of lings, they're these hyper strong zealots. Absolutely invincible units. And there we go. There's a goon here now, and there's a shield battery, so I don't see how you're gonna break through. Shield battery should be almost out of it. Yeah, it's out of energy right now, but he successfully held this attack. And this engage could have been better from Arcanewinds, actually. Tech had very good surface area on his zealots. And in case like this, it's good to be able to kite goons against zealots. If you get enough goons out, then zealots really can't do anything against you. If you kite them properly. That's very difficult to do. So this might actually work, come to think of it, because Arcane never scouted these 2 extra gates here. And Arcane is having to deal with just so much micro at this moment that he might actually fall apart. And Zealots actually have higher DPS than Goons. Goons are very good against Zealots in this situation, but only if you are able to kite them properly. Once you get enough Goons, you just have to keep producing Goons here, and then your DPS eventually becomes so high that Zealots can't really do anything against you. So we'll see if this is able to break through. Because now all the Zealots got reset. And now we've got 3 Goons, we've got 2 more coming. Robo's making a Reaver, and once that Reaver is there, I think you can't really break this anymore with just pure Zealots. I mean, there's still no gas. He did manage to kill the probe that was in his base. So we'll see if he can get it done here. Yeah, these Zealots are going to be taken out as well, and very nice micro by Arcanewinds. Yeah, very nice, very well done. And I think the wind has sort of left the sails of Tech's attack here. I mean, you've got more Zealots are coming, because that's the only thing you can do at this point, but this defense is just going to go stronger and stronger. And the Reavers here now. Reavers are extremely good against Zealots, especially when they have to come through this choke. So I don't think there's much that you can accomplish here as a Tek. Yeah, solid defense. I'm just looking at the chat now. So a chat from WLTLR12345, which is a nice username. Yeah, it's a very solid defense. Very well microed with the goons. And the Reaver's actually gonna... I guess he realized there's nothing at home to defend here, which is he's gonna see these gates. He might actually depower the pylon here. No, I guess not. I guess he's gonna go straight for the main to kill all the probes. Yeah, because I think he's already got enough here to hold this shield battery. Doesn't have that much energy though, but we'll see. It's gonna come down to this. This is the best chance that Tek's gonna get, I think. Yeah, but these healths are starting to get low, and still so many goons. The DPS is still so high. And now there's so many goons that the zealots won't even, unless you have a lot of them, they just won't touch. I'm sorry, I actually missed the the moment that the Reaver killed all the probes. I'll go back to that in a minute. And that's the end. I didn't see a GG, but maybe it was GG in the team chats, I'm not sure. Let me go back just a little bit to see that Reaver. So there goes the Reaver. Meanwhile, the Zealots are fighting, trying to make their way through. Getting picked off. And here comes the Reaver. And he doesn't actually have... He does actually have vision of other minerals, so he can drill them out of here, but... Yeah, he's actually just attacking the Reaver with the probes, which is not something that works. Yeah. I don't blame the GG there. So, that's gonna be it. With that point, going to GOSU. So the next game is going to be Vint versus nerfingen, which is going to be a PvT. And let's just get into it. So we've got in the top right corner, nerfingen for GOSU. Fair play. Here in the bottom right corner, we've got programmer, which is Vint for 2 Furious, who is sending out a probe very, very early. Well, I don't think this probe is gonna go out to scout. I think this probe is gonna make a pylon somewhere. I guess right in the center, maybe, but you can't really build in here, can you? I'm sure he's got this planned out, but this is a difficult position to build stuff in, right? I guess you can just fit a gateway right here. So supply depot coming up in the usual position for microwing against zealots. Oh my god, what was that? Made the gateway and then cancelled it and then rebuilt it. I guess you can just barely fit 2 gateways and he just made it in the wrong spot. That's really painful. That means you lose 50 minerals, right? 2 gateways, and now he's gonna go scout and see where his opponent is. He's not gonna find him right away. So, but this is a nice SimCity for microing against zealots. So, might be able to do something against this, but it's gonna come down to micro, and it's gonna be difficult. Meanwhile, nerfingen's gonna arrive at the Protoss base and see that there's nothing here, and he's gonna know. Oh wait, did he go in far enough? He didn't go in far enough. I don't think he saw anything. Oh no, I think he misscouted. Oh, is he actually going to the middle to check? Wow. Look at this pro gamer. Look at this pro gamer. Wow. Really well done. Well scouted. And, I don't know, maybe he didn't actually check the main. He didn't see anything. He didn't go in deep enough. And then he thought, well, he must be bottom left then. And then sent his SCV cross scout and stumbled upon these 2 gates by accident. I guess that's what happened. Still, we'll just call it a pro gamer move, alright? He sniffed it out. He noticed that there was nothing in the main. And he said, wait a minute, there's supposed to be stuff here, and there's no stuff. Which means your stuff is here in the middle of the map. But now there's 3 zealots, and you're not gonna finish this factory. I mean, the factory is actually what stops this rush. You need the vulture. Yeah, oh my god, this is terrible. I think this is just about the end. Yeah. Sometimes a game is only 3 minutes long. Despite his pro gamer move, finding the gates in the middle of the map. That's a shame. I mean, he practiced for this game, right? And for it to end like that, it's really sad. It's a shame. Anyway, see if he can make a comeback. So we've got game number 2. Vint versus nerfingen, PvT. On Neo Sylphid, game 2. So we've got nerfingen in the top. He's rocking that cool yellow color. I think maybe this is lime, the lime color. And we've got like the army green programmer. No probe being sent out just yet, but we'll see. Maybe it will. Yeah, it's an annoying way to lose, right? Lose against the cheese like that. But it's valuable to be able to learn how to play against that, because that's going to happen a lot to you, and you can't let that be a weakness. So pylons in the main this time. No shenanigans going on. We'll see. I mean, that last game was it's got to be a little bit tilting, right? When just all these zealots just walk into your main and you don't even know where the opponent's base is. But he's making his depot and he's going to make his barracks, I think, over here, so he can micro against the zealots again and try to stay alive. At least until you get all your stuff out, get your factory out. Barracks coming up. I guess you can, this is a fine place to micro as well. So what you do is when you get 2 zealots into the base, you split them off, of course, so you can hit from multiple different angles. Taking his gas. So, see what Protoss wants to do here. Protoss is just going Nexus first, actually. And what a mind game build this is. I mean, first you open up with 2 gates in the middle, And then you go Nexus first. Incredible. It should be criminal. It should be criminalized. This is a criminal probe right here. He knows what he's done. So, first Marine gonna be popping out, and nerfingen is scouting. Gonna get second scout. And Gateway's coming up right now, but I don't think there's anything you can... I don't think there's anything you can do about this, right? About this Nexus first. I don't think you can punish this at this point. Maybe I'm wrong, but... By the way, this probe's just hiding out here. I don't think nerfingen saw it. So nerfingen actually going to see this Nexus finish, and he's going to realize, like, oh, this was made super early. SCV knows it's been robbed. Knows that there's criminal builds going on here. Core coming up, one gateway, but yeah, nothing to punish. Nothing to punish. SCV is not going into the main, actually. Just interesting. Probes being transferred. First Zealot's out. Gonna knock this SCV around. And nerfingen is ready to take his natural. At least this probe is not gonna make cannons in the base this time. Like we saw in the other game. Which was really amazingly achieved. It was really amazing when he pulled it off, but we're not going to see it again. And both sides look to be just ready to play a macro game. Second gateway. Only 2 Marines in the bunker. And there's a tank. So nerfingen is able to kind of get to a normal game from here. We're going to see what his skills are in a regular macro game. Well, a lot of units are being rallied out. I guess he's going to try to attack the bunker, but the tank's already here, so... There's a anti-DT missile turret coming up. In this position. Which is a fine choice. There's no DT tech being made just yet, but it's good. Good to have. Good to be safe against everything. You know, just extend the game and get into all your tech. Armory coming up as well. Look at that micro, pulling the tank back. These goons just a little bit too far forward. It's very difficult to judge the exact range. But now that the siege tank is down, this goon was already pretty damaged. So, oh, it's actually gonna lose this. Wow, that's a bit of a shame. Lose the probe as well. Probe getting splattered. But there's only 2 Marines in this bunker. And there's only 3 goons, but... Do you think you could snipe the tank? I don't know. Probably don't want to try until you have more goons, but... A lot of gateways coming up. And Protoss has a lot of probes. So we're going to have a very good economy, going to be able to actually sustain these gateways. A shuttle, and there's... I don't see a Reaver tech just yet, but... Maybe gonna drop off some goons or some zealots in the main. Right now there's really not much defense. There's not that many units either. There's tank and a vulture. Helix factory coming up, but there's very few units at this moment, and Pros actually has a very sizable army for it, relative to what the Terran has. So I think that Pros might actually be able to bust this. It's just one tank, it's sieged. The second tank needs to get into position, I think. Gateway is just producing. And there's just 2 factories. Well, 1 factory is still just coming up. Well, he is building more tanks now, so if he gets a couple of tanks, like... Oh, look at that. Shuttles coming in. And at the same time the goons are coming in, they're gonna snipe this tank really quickly. Goons, or zealots are on top of this other tank. And this is pretty much a nightmare scenario, because your SimCity is gonna get broken here, your wall's gonna get broken. And now there's basically nothing to defend here. Terran needs to have this natural, perfectly defended. You need siege tanks there. You need to make it impossible for goons to even approach you. But only 1 tank was sieged there, so I think these goons are just going to end the game. Oh, he might even lose this natural CC because he's not pulling it back fast enough. Yeah, it's going to fall. Wow. What a shame. Nerfingen just wants to get into a normal game, but he can't quite get there. Well, still, this choke is very small. I think he can still get through with the shuttle, but... At least this is pretty efficient with these siege tanks right here. But yeah, it doesn't matter. It's not enough. Goon's just gonna A-move in, and that's gonna be it. There's 2 tanks here, they're gonna fall very quickly. Yeah, that's a shame. Nerfingen lose GG's and leaves the game. So it's a quick 2-0. Very well played by Pro Gamer. Or Programmer, I should say, sorry. Programmer, aka Vint. For 2 Fact, 2 Furious. I need to do something about that text. It really doesn't look nice. Typography is all off. So we've got only 1 game left here. That's Zerg versus Vaclavson. And Vaclavson, you might remember, he was the winner of the King of the Tiers tournament. So expect a very nice game between these 2. Just load up the first map. Alright, here we go. I hope they've picked nice colors, because of 1-on-1 you can change the colors to red and blue. Alright. In the top right corner it's Zerg for 2 Fact, 2 Furious. And in the bottom left corner it's Vaclavson. GOSU, winner of the King of the Tiers tournament. And we'll see what Zerglov wants to open up with. I think I'm kind of looking more to Zerglov for what Zerglov wants to do. Because I think, as far as I know, Vaclavson is a very standard macro Terran. Just wants to get his stuff out and build marines, build barracks, build turrets, and then just go and move and kill the Zerg. Which is the way you play Terran. Meanwhile, it looks like an Overlord, so I'm kind of expecting that Zerglov's just going to do a standard 12 hatch, but we'll see. By the way, I don't know how Zerglov does it, but like APM was almost 700 just now. I mean, I spam a lot when I start a game, but I don't spam all the way to 700 APM. That's crazy. How many hotkeys do you need to hold down to get that? Maybe it has something to do with your keyboard's your keyboard speed, like the amount of times it repeats a button if you hold it down. I don't know. So hatchery coming up. Very standard. Very, very standard. But there's 2 racks, and 2 racks you have to be careful as Zerg. You have to scout this, you have to see that there's going to be more Marines than you expect. And maybe you can do some early pressure and try to force them to build a bunker. I think that Vaclavson is going to have a very solid build here. Scouts doesn't see anything here. Scouts doesn't see anything here. Knows it's cross spawn. But perfectly safe for now. There's no 8 racks, no bunker being built in your natural. So I think Zerglov can be pretty happy about the opening. And the lairs coming up. Let's see if Vaclavson can keep this SCV alive long enough to see if this is going to be Muta tech or if Zerglov wants to go Hydra. And meanwhile, I don't actually know if... I guess Zerglov must have scouted... Oh, there, I just saw like the corpse of the drone. So the drone actually did see that there's Marines at the ramp here and that there's no natural. Actually, the SCV got picked off as well. That's actually pretty quickly. So I don't know if Zerglov necessarily knows this is 2 racks, but when you see that many Marines this early, I think you have to know that this is what's happening. Still just pumping out Marines, and here come the medics, and that's when we're going to see the move out. And Zerglov is going to have to be on top of this. It's going to have to bring over Zergling right now, so going to be able to tell at least when the move out starts. And it is cross spawn, so you do have some time to morph the Sunks. Spires coming up. And here comes the move out. Stim researching. eBay coming up. More Marines going to be rallied over here. And Zerglov just making Sunks. Perfect. So going to be able to hold this, no problem, with 4 Sunks. That's a lot of Sunks. But, you know, either way, this gives Terran a lot of control over the game. And when you have this kind of setup, it can be very strong to harass a lot with your mutas, but your muta micro skill has to be really spot on to be able to make that work. And you do have to get out and get your 3rd base at some point. So gonna have to try to pressure the main and force these Marines back, or try to attack the Marines on the map. Maybe this drone's it's actually just rallying to the natural. I thought maybe it was going to make another hatch, but no. Yeah, you can't break this with this many Marines, but Vaclavson just macroing up. Still hasn't taken his natural though. This Overlord is keeping an eye out. And for now, just contain on the Zerg base. Mutas have popped. They're not quite being grouped together yet. So, mutas fly out. Let's see what they can get done. But there's only 1 base right now, which means that the missile turret coverage is going to be perfect. But it's good to get this scout off and see how many racks there are. There are still only just 2 racks, and factory is going to probably be making a siege. Yeah, it's going to be making siege mode. We're going to get a tank out, and we're going to try to gun down these sunks. Yeah, mutas they're tricky units to make work. It's very difficult, especially in tier 3. But this is, you know, it's nice. It's getting some work done. Sees that there's no natural expansion just yet. In fact, there's not even a CC made just yet. And I think you should be able to kill off this group of Marines here. If you make a few links, you group up all your mutas, and you should be able to do it. Hydra Den coming up, so Zerglov going to be getting into lurkers. Sees the Hydra Den. A little bit of harass. Oh, actually cancels the CC. That's actually very nice. So yeah, nice work by Zerglov. He has some very decent Unimicro for tier 3. But you know, the really difficult thing about Mutamicro is doing the Mutamicro and then at the same time also doing your macro at home. That's really the most difficult part. Queen's Nest coming up. So we'll see what we want to do after this. If we want to go into Hive and then maybe either go into Quick Ultras or go into Quick Defilers. But it's gonna be, you know, it's gonna be difficult to do on just 2 gas, right? Ooh, been a miss micro there. Meanwhile, this giant group of Marines is gonna group up. Well, it's not so giant, but it's big enough that you can't really break it with just Ling Muta. You need to have a more technical army, and in the meantime, this siege tank is gonna siege up just outside of sunk range. But you can't snipe this. Oh wait, it does actually siege. Wow, it needs a scan for it, but it's just barely hitting it. And you can't really snipe these tanks anymore. And I think no matter what you do, I think anything you try is going to be late at this point. Still, Vaclavson has only 1 scan left, so if you run up with the lurkers... Oh, he actually used this last scan, so... Sees that there's no lurkers. And this is a terrible feeling as a Zerg. Because you know you don't have enough to break this, but you have to go anyway. But yeah, there's no scan yet, so... It's gonna be a while before that scan is out. The first vessel's making right now. I don't think there's one going across the map just yet. Yeah, that's another side effect when you don't have a natural expansion. You only have 1 com set. But still, it's going to be very difficult for Zerg to hang on here, because eventually you're going to have more lurkers, but they're just going to get picked off by the siege tanks. And there's the last scan. I'm actually surprised he used the scan so early, but I guess he's got... Oh no, he just loses. Oh, he still does have vision. Oh no, he doesn't. Sorry. I was a little bit confused about how long a scan lasts, but... He's gonna break this final lurker, and now he has access to all these drones. And this is just gonna be GG. Vessel's probably almost on its way. Oh, there's another lurker here. I didn't see that. But it doesn't matter. This is enough damage. Everything, just about everything is gone here. mean, there was a vessel being produced. I don't know where it's gone, but... Oh, there it is. So, once this vessel is here, it's going to be GG. It's basically already GG. Zerg has 7 drones, because none of the drones were evacuated. Yeah, this is going to be it. GG! Very nice and straightforward game from Vaclavson. Let me load up the next one. And that next game is going to be on Neo Sylphid. So in the top spawn we've got Vaclavson. Again, this is a difficult spawn to split your workers in. So, and in the bottom left corner we've got Zerg, who is sending their overlord to the correct direction. Just making drones here, and yeah, I think that last game was a very straightforward game. That's exactly what you want to do as Terran. You want to hit that mass of Marines and use the tanks to gun down the sunks, gun down the lurkers, and Zerg has to be ready for that. You have to either reduce the Marine count in the middle of the map with Ling, you have to harass to keep them home, or you have to have some sort of tech to be able to stop these tanks from gunning down your sunks. And it's difficult. It's hard to play against that. It's if the Terran's build is on point, it can hit very hard, like we just saw. And Vaclavson is a very good, very solid macro player. So it can be hard to fight against that. But it looks like Zerg for now. Oh, I was gonna say that for now they're just making Overlord and droning up, but no, that's not a Overlord, that's a drone. This is gonna be a 9 pool. I don't think the Overlord is going to be able to confirm that Terran is in the top spawn before the links are out, so we'll see where Zerg decides to send these first links. Oh, it's a 9 pool speed. This is not an extractor trick, so yeah. And I think, yeah, with 9 pool speed, I don't think it's a bad idea to just use a drone to scout right away. I mean, you don't... Oh, actually, I think he's just going to take his natural. Oh, yeah. I guess he wants to use all the drones that he has to just mine minerals for these lings. And it looks like the lings are going to the top position. No, they're going to the bottom position. But this Overlord's going to see that it's actually top position, so turns around his lings right away. There's only one Marine here, 1 Rax, and a lot of SCVs, so this might actually work. Yeah. Vaclavson has not been able to scout this, so he hasn't pulled any SCVs yet. But as soon as he sees these links, he's going to have to cancel this CC immediately and defend. But I don't think it's going to work. I think these links are just going to overwhelm the Marines, and at this point when you're Zerg, you just reset your rally points to the opponent's base, and oh, actually you run out of base. Oh. Well, I guess it's a start. You pick off the first SCV. But yeah, you need to kill these Marines. You need to neutralize this Rax. You need to have enough links around this Rax to be able to cancel any Marine coming out. But I think this is going to work anyway, because all the Marines have gotten picked off, and I mean, at the moment he's still making Marines, and the Zerglings can actually beat the SCVs if they aren't microed, but at this point you just try to snipe Marines over and over again, and you rally more links over to the attack, but there's actually, the links aren't going there. I guess the rally point wasn't being reset to the enemy base. Yeah, that's a shame, because now I think he might actually get this bunker up in time. Ooh, that's a shame. I mean, you get speed as well in... oh, actually, you didn't start speed. Oh, that's a shame. That's a shame. If you had speed, these things would already be in the base, but yeah. Unfortunately, he manages to get the bunker up, and I think that's going to be the end of this attack. You're not going to break this bunker. Well, it does manage to get all these things in, but they're going to be weakened, and they're going to be even easier to pick off by these SCVs. Still gets a lot of damage, though. Yeah, this actually surprised me a little bit. He actually did way more damage with those links than I thought he would, but it does seem that the attack is completely over now. Because this bunker is going to have 4 Marines in it, nothing's going to get past it, and there's one link just hanging out here, but yeah. That's a shame. It's difficult to get anything done now. So Vaclavson is just way ahead. Oh, that's sad actually. The work count's actually identical between Vaclavson and Zerg, which is very surprising. I guess he did manage to pick off a lot of SCVs with that run by just now. Zerg is very gas heavy at the moment, has 700 gas and almost no minerals. Looks like Zerg is going to follow up with lurkers, which would be very strong if... I think there's going to be a missile turret up pretty soon. Yeah, if Zerg had the minerals to make a bunch of Hydras and lurkers. This is actually such a shame. These chunks don't come up in time to block this SCV from coming in. SCV is going to see the Hydra den, and Vaclavson is going to know exactly what to do here. Yeah, starts a turret. Oh, actually a bunker, second bunker. Yeah, you need a second bunker and you need a missile turret to be able to see the lurkers. 3 bunkers. These lurkers are going to do nothing. Nothing. I'm actually surprised I had messages on. I don't know what that was about, but yeah. Normally I always have my messages turned off, so sorry about that. But Zerg is droning up, which is what he should be doing at this moment, I think. I mean, Terran is not going to have an army to speak of to be able to contest even these chunks. For a little while. I mean, coming across the... I'm not sure what this is even designed to do. Maybe just scout a little bit, see if the lurkers are coming. See if maybe the eggs are morphing somewhere. I guess that's not a bad job, not a bad thing to do. Checking for bases. Meanwhile, the lurkers are actually moving out. There's 2 full bunkers here, a 3rd bunker that they can retreat to, and a missile turret. Vaclavson is pretty light on SCVs for where I think he should be. I mean, this might be hold position lurkers, perhaps. Trying to catch the army as it goes out, but the army is probably going to go through here, right? Might want to put them here. Maybe that's too obvious a place, possibly. He wants them in a location that isn't going to be scanned as easily. Oh, this Marine just barely doesn't manage to cancel this hatch, prevent this hatch. Four lurkers here. If the entire army walks over these lurkers, then it's going to be a great trade, but I don't know. See if they're hold. No, they do not hold position. So now if Vaclavson knows that this is out there, it's going to be able to make sure that nothing... He actually doesn't have any units to prevent these marines from... I think he assumed that there was only one marine out on the map, and you can just kill that with a few drones, but yeah. That's a shame, because this is actually going to... This might actually cancel the hatch. If he doesn't get something over there right away, he's making his Zerglings now. He's got a Hydralisk, but one Hydralisk can't fight 3 marines. And Queen's Nest is already coming up. Is this hatch gonna survive? Here come the Lings. I think it's just barely gonna live. It was close. It was close. Look at how low it is. And see if these lurkers can hit anything from over there. I don't think they can. Oh, yeah, that's a shame. Yeah. This is pure marine. There's no medics in here, which is very weird. Because lurkers are actually pretty strong. They're pretty beefy units. Wow, this is an amazing trade for Zerglov. Getting all these marines for free. And you know there's going to be lurkers out, right? I don't really understand why Vaclavson decided to move out here. Especially when your marines don't have upgrades yet. I mean, they're 0-0, so they take 2 shots from lurkers to be killed. So now he just threw away like an entire army. Yeah, it was a bit of a strange move from Vaclavson. I don't really understand what he was trying to do. He is taking this third base here, which is very sneaky. Zerg's never gonna think to check there, I think. Vaclavson gonna open up his natural a little bit, allow his units a little bit easier time to move out. And he's going to dropship play. It's not a bad idea, because there's very little to defend like in here. If you get a good enough drop out, there's a Defiler Mount's already up, so... Consume being made. If you can get just a few, even just a few lurkers with Dark Swarm over their nets, then that's devastating to a Terran. I actually think that Zerglov probably heard the dropship load up there. I'm not sure if he was paying attention to the Overlord over there. It's just one dropship, but I don't think if it's just one dropship you want to go into the main, I think. Because there's too much defense over here. Unless you want to drop, like, back here, maybe. No, he's going to go on to the main. But there's already a lurker here, so... Zerglov is prepared. I don't know if one lurker is going to be enough, though. If you scan, I think you can just pick it off. This dropship is a little bit indecisive at the moment. Oh. Yeah, these are still 0 armor marines, so they take 2 shots from... They take 2 shots from a lurker. Yeah, this was actually kind of fascinating to watch, because it did absolutely nothing. The lurker attacked the marines as they came out. The marines don't have upgrades. It's just one dropship. It's a very small force, so... Yeah, it was just not enough. too little, too late, too little. Meanwhile, the Ultras are out. They're gonna have chitinous plate. Oh, they already have chitinous plating. So Zerglov really on point with this this transition here. Yeah, and I hope he doesn't make his Marines walk over these lurkers. So now we've got vessels, we've got ultralisks that are going to be absolutely killer against these Marines, which only have +1. So if the next carapace can finish for Zerg, these soldiers are going to be basically invincible. But at the moment, the Marines can fight them if you have enough critical mass. Oh, so that's what I heard. I heard some SCVs dying, but I couldn't see where. But this lurker in the place where Terran wants to take its fourth. Oh, this is a very nice attack. It's got Dark Swarm, it's got Ultras. That's something you have to take seriously as Terran. But with these siege tanks here, you have to really make sure that your Ultras stay inside the Dark Swarm so that nothing can hurt it. Yeah. I don't know, guys. It's a little bit difficult to make out exactly what's happening here. The Ultras do have their next carapace now, so if Terran is still... Okay, the Terran actually has its +2 now, so Terran is actually staying parallel to the Zerg in upgrades. This lurker just keeps getting kills and kills. When you're fighting against this style, when you're fighting against Ultras, you don't want to be behind in the carapace versus attack upgrades. And it looks like Terran is just perfectly synced up with Zerg in that regard, so you can actually fight these Ultras. Look, see, they're dying actually pretty quickly, despite the fact that there's not that many Marines here. So I think Vaclavson has to just start pumping Marines, start pumping vessels, get irradiates off. Here comes more vessels, and I like that he's mixing in tanks. Tanks do pretty well against the Ultras. And if he can get a good siege somewhere, then that might be a winner. If he can irradiate all the defilers. Oh, he can actually hit this third base here from this not quite high ground. But here come the Ultras. I think they can pick off these tanks at least. Yeah, there's not quite enough medic marine here. You really need a lot more. Oh, God. See that? That was a D-matrix on the Ultra. Sometimes that happens if you just misclick. It's, yeah, oh, it's a shame. It's a bit embarrassing, but it happens. There we go, the irradiates coming out. And the key to holding this is just having critical mass Marines. Having your vessels, irradiating everything, and Vaclavson's attacks are just a little bit too small right now. This gets cancelled again. I think there's going to be, again, there's going to be enough here to hold this off. And I think both sides are just kind of... They should be growing their armies a little bit more. They should be waiting for critical mass a little bit more. Zerglov has thrown away just a few too many Ultras. Especially since this gas is actually... This is a very low gas. If you take this one, it's just got 1500 gas in it. So this is going to be this is going to be depleted in a little while, and then you're going to be just on 2 gas, and 2 gas is just not enough to support Ultra, especially not if you also want to have defilers there for Darkswarm. So this army from Vaclavson is just growing and growing and growing. This is a nice group of Ultras. There's not that many Lings here. I kind of wish there were a bit more Lings here to deal extra damage. And again, there's a D-Matrix on the Ultra. At this point, I have to believe that he's just styling. So yeah, this is what we were talking about. You need to have critical mass. And the army was looking formidable for Vaclavson, but this is a formidable amount of Ultras. But a couple of them are pretty low, they get picked off pretty quickly. And this time the D-Matrix is on point. I think this is just barely not gonna make... Oh, maybe it is. Maybe it actually is. Well, this one Ultra is pretty low. This one's getting low. So there might be just enough to pick off these Ultras. Excuse me. Link's coming in now. It's looking like a very good attack, but I don't think it's going to kill Terran. Not with this many vessels, and I think the next round is going to come out very soon. Again, maybe it is. Maybe this is just too much. I mean, there's a lot of the Zerg units are very low, but there's fresh Ultras coming in now, and yeah, I actually think this might be it. I think I was pretty skeptical about this attack, but looks like it's just enough to push through. Unless you can just irradiate everything here and pull it off. No, I don't think so. You know what? Terran might actually just hold this. Just barely. Look at how many vessels there are, by the way. So using the eraser to kill off the Lings. That's amazing. Yeah, I'm actually surprised that, I guess because Zerglov is so low on gas, Zerglov never bothered to actually extend this attack and send in more and more units. I think you could have broken the main if you had sent in, even if it was just Lings, you could have sent in a ton of Lings and just killed everything in the main. I think the game would have been over, but it looks like Terran just barely holds. This barracks is actually just going to burn down. Needs to remake his barracks, but he does have a ton of vessels. It's funny, he's having to use his vessels to ward off this one tiny attack by Zerglings. Oh, God, but there's battle cruisers out. He's using battle cruisers on Lings. Because he's got nothing else. And look at this. There's just one Ultra, but this Ultra is super dangerous because there's nothing here. I mean, it takes 2 irradiates to kill an Ultra. It takes forever. I guess at this point, maybe if you're just gonna make battle cruisers forever and battle cruisers and vessels forever, maybe you don't need any units. Maybe you don't need a main. Or you do need those supply depots, though. You don't want to lose those. You know, maybe this is... Wow, he's actually just irradiating overlords. That's incredible. He's irradiating everything. I guess why not, when you have this many vessels? I mean, he's losing his main, but... He's still got buildings, so he can fight. It's completely a mystery to me who's gonna win this game. I think the vessels are extremely strong, though, because Zerglov doesn't have much more resources left. There's actually still quite a bit of minerals here in the main. Guess maybe Zerglov was pretty low on drones in the main. What a crazy game. What a crazy game. Oh, you don't want to fly these battlecruisers in. These spores. They are gonna pick off your battlecruiser with the spores. They are actually pretty strong against the battlecruisers. Move it out of the way, come on! No, don't lose it. Oh, that was painful. That was painful. That was painful. Irradiating the battlecruiser. I guess he meant to dematrix it. What a crazy game. Just irradiating overlords. So weird. But I feel like Zerg has to win this game, right? You can't lose this game as Zerg, right? I mean, you're low on minerals. You don't have your third gas because it's depleted. Oh, there go all the SCVs. Terran is on 9 SCVs. There's just this mining base, but Zerg's gonna find that sooner or later. Still a couple of buildings left here, so you're not gonna get disqualified from the game for not having any buildings, at least. Yeah, what can you do here as Terran? Actually, really surprised with Terran still in this game. I mean, what are you gonna do? You can't send an SCV over here to repair. There's no SCVs. Zerglov just getting more bases. That's exactly what you should be doing. But you know, I think what you should be doing is probably you should be just making the units needed to kill all the buildings and then you win. Because there's no way they can stop you, right? You can't stop Zerg if Zerg just wants to kill all your buildings in this situation. Like this one. Just need a couple of links. I mean, this is gonna burn down, this is gonna... Oh, actually, it's gonna be repaired. Wow. What a weird game. What a crazy game. So let's just think about how could Terran possibly win this game. For now, it seems that this base in 3 o'clock has gone completely unscouted. Zerg doesn't know it exists. It's got a gas, you've got minerals, plenty of minerals left. But Zerg only has to counter Terran Air Force. That's the only thing that Zerg has to do. Because Terran doesn't have a ground force anymore. And you can do that. You know, I'm actually kind of surprised that there isn't like mass scourge or something coming out of Zerglov. I guess I understand because there's no gas for that, but you are going to get your gas, right? And you do have some gas. You should be trying to... You should be banking up Scourge and just send in some units and then clone them all on these science vessels. And once Terran loses this air force, it's over. You don't have a ground force anymore, and you can never make a ground force anymore, I think. It's just too slow, right? Yeah, I don't see any way that Terran can win this game. Alright, there's Scourge coming out, so that's good. Guys, what a crazy game this is. I've never seen a game like this. This is like, it's almost like a stalemate, but it shouldn't be a stalemate because Zerg is just way ahead, right? I mean, I know Terran has more supply than Zerg, but what does it matter in this case? You know what? I guess that's the way Terran can win this game, is if he just builds non-stop battle cruisers. And Zerg doesn't really have anything to deal with it. I mean, you should be able to. You should be able to counter anything that the Terran can do at this point. You know that the only thing they have is vessels and battle cruisers. But if Terran gets up to a really large number of them, then maybe you can just roll over the Zerg anyway. Keep irradiating things. Zerg love just getting gas. Just get more gas, get more gas. Zerglings don't seem to be interested in taking down this supply depot. What's this Ultra gonna do? I guess we'll kill it for the SPDs. That's not bad. It's truly amazing that this game is still going on. I think maybe both sides are just kind of experiencing like a kind of numbness. They don't really know what to do. They're not really entirely sure how to play this. I mean, it is a weird game, and sometimes you can just kind of lose track of what you're doing. In Zerglov has 3-3 links with the Adrenal upgrade and a ton of minerals. If you just make all Zerglings, and it doesn't matter if there's battle cruisers there, you can pretty much just kill everything here. I mean, they'll rip through the buildings before you have time to kill them. Well, you do need a critical mass for that. You can't just do it with small groups. These aren't A moves, they're actually just move commands. Oh, there goes the CC. You see how quickly they work? I mean, this is super inefficient, but who cares, you know? Yeah, send more links. You almost got the starports. You get the CC. And I guess there's so few drones for Zerglov. Only 22 drones to turn 33. Terran decides to float the CC over, trying to take a base here, but that base is already taken. Yeah, this is the strangest game I've ever seen. I mean, I know this is not a broken replay, but it looks almost like a broken replay. It's because so little is happening. And there's radius going off on drones. It's just not the way you do things. But look at this fleet. There's a lot of battle cruisers now. And Zerg actually just isn't making... If there's Yamato Cannon, you can take care of these spores. I mean, making mass spores is the correct move. Aaron is actually going to win this game just purely with D-Matrix battlefield. What a strange game. But here comes the Lynx, and I think the Lynx might be able to do something and maybe clear out these starports. With most of the battlecruisers being somewhere else. There's actually just not enough. There's just not enough Lynx. You need like mass number of Lynx. You need like 4 or 5 control groups of Lynx. Just move them in and kill everything. But Zerg is just... Zerg is out of minerals. Yeah, I think Terran's actually going to win this game after all. I was not expecting that, but Zerg just doesn't have an answer for this. This base is still unscouted. I mean, if you have one Dark Swarm, you can kill this, but... So I think Vaclavson knows that this is the only remaining base. I think he's aware of this base, and if he isn't, he will be very soon. It's a dropship going. There's nothing in it. More Lynx coming up, but there's enough battlecruisers here to hold this back, and there's not enough. There's just not enough Lynx. There's not enough units. And there's Yamato Cannon. I like the move of just killing the hedge. Not even bothering with spores. And now Zerg truly has nothing left. Ah, that's it. GG! Which is probably the weirdest game I've ever seen. The weirdest CVT. But Vaclavson takes it after all. Yeah, that was really weird. And, yeah, I don't know what to say about that game. It was, I think both sides were kind of paralyzed about what to do, because it's such a strange situation, and when you're under the pressure of a game, especially if it's at the finals and it's a very close match, you kind of, if the game doesn't go as expected, you might have trouble just coming up with even simple solutions. I think Zerglov's problem was that he didn't have nearly the economy needed to be able to finish this Terran off. The Terran was very weak, and I think there were lots of opportunities to kill him, but as soon as Terran managed to get that outpost and start making battlecruisers, what you need to do is you need to scout and see how many units the Terran has, and then see how much you need to be able to kill that. And battlecruisers take a very long time before they become active if there's no units to back them, right? So you had time to drone up and get more bases up, get Scourge up, get gases up, and but it's very difficult to actually understand that when a game is going on. So yeah, it's difficult. It's tough. These games are very strange, and it's hard to know what to do sometimes. Well, I think that's gonna be it for this cast, because this was all the games in Tier 3, 2 Fact2 Furious versus GOSU, and it looks like 2 Fact2 Furious manages to win the Tier 3 with a 3-2 score. So yeah, they have a very strong Tier 3, and we'll see if they can do just as well in the other tiers. And cool, thanks guys for watching, and we'll see you online. Goodbye.